Hello, hi everyone. Seems like you enjoyed food photography this week, and I'm pleased to see that and hear that in your comments. I'll tell you, I don't know if I told you this already, but when I did food photography, I wanted to buy something that I would want to eat, so I bought a cake that had chocolate frosting on the top and vanilla pudding in the middle, and it ended up taking me about 3 hours to get the shot I wanted with a slice of cake and a glass of milk. The cake was on a plate with a fork, and oh, it took so long just to get all the lighting and the angles. So, I feel your pain, and I think everybody had some pretty good ideas this week. So, let's take a look. So, Holly is first in alphabetical order. Yeah, well, think about those pictures in the articles. There was a lot of behind the scenes, gross stuff going on. Glue, motor oil, that kind of thing. I love the cotton balls, though. Cotton balls in the microwave, wet cotton balls. Make some steam. That was a great idea. So, Holly, I think you picked the donuts I would have picked. Something about sprinkles on a donut. I don't think it really adds to the flavor, but that's always what I want. I like the wood background. Here, I think I would have put it on a plate, however. I know people don't usually eat donuts on a plate, but it seems to be a table rather than, like something like a cutting board. But I think you've got good lighting here. You've got a nice little shine. I'm wondering if you use flash. That's the little shine there is usually an indicator of that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I went the wrong direction. Okay, this I think is your best photo. I love the shallow depth of field. I love seeing the closeness of the colorful sprinkles. These lights just fill me with joy, these little reflections here, the bokeh. And here we have you on a plate. At first I thought this was a notebook page, like a spiral bound notebook. But on closer inspection, I see that it's a plate. I think I would have perhaps cropped this out, unless you would have shown the whole plate. Do you see what I mean? It would feel more whole, and it seems like you were going for symmetry here. So if you were to go back to this one, I would just crop it just a little bit to take that edge out, or retake the photo, with the whole plate. This one is really pretty too. Again with the wood though, and you have to think about your viewer / customer when you're doing food photography. What is going to make people just, salivate over this food? If it's sitting on the table, maybe, maybe that is something to rethink. But overall, I think you got pretty good lighting, pretty nice compositions, and like I said, if I were you, I probably would crop this one, and that would be your winner. I just like the pink against the white. I think that's really looks lovely. And then looking down through your contact sheet, by the way, congratulations everybody for successfully completing the contact sheet. And wasn't that easy and fun? I really think it was. And it's a good thing to learn how to do. I'm kind of in love with this picture right here. I would look back into that one. Just nice close-up, nice arrangement. It's like going beyond the frame. There's no distractions. Oops, just yummy. Jump right in. And, you know, perhaps one of these might work a little bit better than the one that you chose down here. I'd have to look at them really closely, but I mean, I think you know what I'm looking for. Just, you know, just the food itself, no distractions. Okay, here's Ivy. I love that you are showing us different meals that you had during the week, and that you tried a background. So here is, what was this? This was Sunday lunch at Grandma's. So it looks like potatoes, some kind of really moist, maybe ham, not sure, and green beans and a fresh roll. This has got to be rice, I'm thinking. So it looks pretty good, like pretty good homemade food. The background is a little bit distracting on this photo, but I'm glad that you did a shallow depth of field. This kind of cracks me up that, you know, you went out and got, I'm guessing this is a McDonald's cheeseburger, quarter pounder, and French fries, and then you put it on this silky cloth. That's pretty kick-ass, really. I would crop it in a little bit closer to remove this area so that we are more, you know, we're just not distracted by anything. We're more focused on, you know, the meal that you're presenting us. And this one I like pretty well. This looks like Zaxby's to me. Texas toast and chicken fingers and what do they call those? I can't remember what those fries are called. They're fries. Again, we have a few little distracting elements. You might be able to crop this in closer so that, you know, we're not distracted by anything here and here in the background. But other than that, everything looks pretty golden. You might want to, if you want to reshoot, you could experiment with maybe candlelight. Very warm lighting is always pleasing with food. Okay, this is actually, hold on a second. Yeah, this is Madison's for Unit 5. And this is her bracketing. So one brighter, one perfect, and then one darker. And I think those look really good. So this one was 1/80th of a second, the slowest shutter speed. And this one is 1/60th of a second, and then I think this is 1/320th. Yeah. So nice job going a full stop each time. You did that math perfectly, and it really shows the difference between the lightest and the perfect exposure and the darkest. And you might want to experiment with layering those and do an HDR image. Okay, and on we go to Melissa. Melissa says she settled on the components of a caprese salad. One of my favorite things in the world. And you took a lot of photos. Bravo. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Staged. And then you had to put it on the floor. That's really funny. Window light. Great. And I love hearing your exact settings. Great. You did not use flash. Beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, so here's Melissa's. Wow, that looks so rustic and delicious. I couldn't be more excited about this photo. I think it looks amazing. I love, you know, that you've got your condiments here, and I believe these are peppercorns, maybe? Beautiful. Okay, so this would be considered a top-down angle. I mean, it's fairly close to top-down, which is where your lens is exactly facing the product. And I think you do have a perfect top-down. So this is at an angle, and that's also very nice. And there's your top-down, okay. So I like this angle a lot. I think it makes everything look, the circles are all, you know, kind of in agreement. Your arrangement, and then the tomatoes and the dish, and, you know, even the little peppercorns, all those circles are just agreeable. And I think that the dim lighting, it just makes it feel intimate, I guess you would say. But it's really pretty. Very pretty. I could also see you using candlelight. Now, this one actually reminds me of the Cezanne that I was telling you about last week. Usually Cezanne, though, it looks like something's about to fall, and there's a feeling of movement in the still life. But it's still, you know, feels kind of beautifully traditional. And I love, you know, all of these highlights. Yep, gorgeous. And great job on your contact sheet as well. Isn't it interesting to just quickly look down over your images and see, you know, subtle differences? Contact sheets are great. Okay, here's Sydney. And she waited to go to a restaurant. Turned out it was more difficult to take these pictures in a restaurant. I agree, because, you know, you're kind of under pressure. You want to eat the food when it's hot. And everyone's probably glancing over at you, and it feels a little uncomfortable. So this, I can tell you're in a restaurant, so that's interesting. And I think this is a nice warm background. I only wish that you had balanced the photo or straightened the photo so that we get that, you know, that nice framing, and the horizon line is straight. Yes, you can have a horizon line and an interior. And this looks delicious. Is that cashew chicken? Or maybe Kung Pao chicken? This as well looks very good. Now when I look at your contact sheet, I actually, hold on. Let's see if I can down over these a little bit. I actually find I like some of your other pictures even better. So, for example, and I did look at these close, this image right here is really about the food, not so much about where you are, and I like that. I feel like you could even crop it in a little bit closer. So it's just the food. This one I love. I love that we're looking at the textures, and you know, this to me is something I want to dive right in. And this one, you know, you've got some beautiful colors in your composition here. So you've got bright greens and oranges in addition to the sesame chicken. So I think that's wonderful. I would like the ones with the drinks, but there's some lens distortion there. So my favorites would be to go with 1, 2, 3, if it were me. And you're probably going to want to include food photography in your final portfolio. So, you know, just some little minor editing and selection is going to make your portfolio look so much better. Okay, let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, so that's the last one. So I hope that this was helpful, and please reach out to me if there's anything that you have questions about. We are preparing for our final portfolio with this week's assignment, last week's assignment, and all things going forward. And I'm going to be sharing with you what we're going to do for our bonus lesson and some materials, just, you know, inexpensive materials that you'll need to purchase. Should be able to make it with, you know, $20 or less, depending on how into it you're going to get. I mean, I would be excited. I'd go on gung-ho, you know, I'd be pulling out the credit card and just, you know, having a blast. But I understand most of us are on a budget, and so like I said, $20 or less should do it. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.